All right. We are here at the restart zone for the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach track for the track walk. Now, this is something brand new. I'm going to try and do this maybe a couple of times this year, but this is newly rebranded the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach this year for 2019. Toyota, or the Toyota dealers of Southern California, had sponsored this race for a long time before that. I think going back all the way to the 70s. Or as long back as I can remember. There's three series that are racing here primarily this weekend: the NTT IndyCar Series, the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, and the formerly Pro World Challenge. I don't know, I think it's like SRO America Challenge or something like that. They're here as well. That's why you see the white painted lines right here, because they, I believe, do a standing start for their races. Anyway, so we're walking right here. There's the bridge over the track that we all see. Last year decked out completely in Toyota decals. Now Acura, representative of their promotion of this event. I'm not going to do the entire track. I'll do all the corners at least with this, because let's face it, this track is very long, and to do this entirely on here would be almost an hour of video. I don't think y'all would want to see all of that. We're coming up here on the start-finish line. After this, I'm going to pause it until we get to near turn 1. I believe this is the 45th running of this race. We see Bubba Burger over here on the sides. They actually are sponsoring the I think it's called the Bubba Burger Sports Car Grand Prix, which is the IMSA race on Saturday. I think it's just like 100 minutes long. But anyway, so here we're coming up to the start-finish line with someone taking a picture of their motorcycle. And here we are right here. And this is where the field will take the green flag on Sunday. Now, we're going to walk around the motorcycle right here, get a nice little look at it. And the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach signage. And of course, it's a Honda motorcycle. Oh, come on. They got a Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach sign on here on the front of this bike.
Taking it off right now, I swear.
Gotta have a sense of humor, folks. Anyway, so we're coming up here. A couple of guys from Ford Chip Ganassi Racing in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. And over here we've got some more of the pit lane areas being set up. This is a Thursday afternoon here at Long Beach. We got all the grandstands over here. We're going to pan over here behind us. And as you can see, just looking at the track, we're going to get down a little bit here. It's actually banked a little bit. I'm going to turn around here very slowly. If you actually look right here, it's actually banked pretty decently. This race's most successful driver is Alan Jr. He was known as the King of the Beach because he won here 6 times out of, I think, an 8-year span. I think it was 1988, 89, 90, 91, 94, and 95, I think, were the years that he won. 1992, he was spun out by Danny Sullivan after a late race overtake, and in 93, he was involved in a collision with Nigel Mansell early in the race. So those are the 2 years he didn't win in that entire period. So we're coming up to the end of this little right-hander right here. And when we get to turn 1, I'll pick it back up here. But as you can see, it's a pretty decently sized corner right here that we're going down here on the main straight here. I believe that this is called Shoreline Boulevard. Turn 1 is way down there. It's a left-hander that leads over to the fountain area. I'll pick it up right before we get to turn 1. All right, so we are here at the pit exit, and a bit of an interesting sign right here. One thing I'm noticing is that the pit exit is actually, looks like it's quite a bit further down this year than it was last year. It goes all the way down here. There's the pit speed cones right there for IMSA, and we have a lovely amount of raised curbing right here near the edge, just to show you how much they're raised when we get down here closer to the track surface. y'all can see how that is. So, I guess it's kind of to combat what happened with Bourdais last year when he was making that move on I think it was Dixon, and I forget who the other person was. I think it was, they're trying to go around Laced and Pickett actually at the same time. Anyway. So, that's the pit exit. And I thought that was turn one, but it looks like turn one's just about 500 feet down further this way, right here. We're gonna get stopped here for walking across the track, though. We'll be going pretty closely here soon enough. All right, looks like we're gonna be able to go. Perfect. All right. All right, so the good news though is that actually it looks like pit lane isn't that much further down this year than it was last year, but they really accentuated the blue line right here. So we're actually walking on the line that the drivers are supposed to respect for the pit exit right here. So at least everyone knows what it looks like. Oh, there's Alex Rossi and engineer Jeremy Moless. Just driving the go-kart. See, there's the 400, 300, 200, and 100. Right there. But the good news, though, is that with this blue line, everyone can clearly see it. So we shouldn't have that many controversial moments this year, I should say. But turn one is right up there, right where the people are standing next to the tire barrier right there. And we've seen some incidents in turn one. Probably my most memorable that I can remember is that in 2012, Joseph Newgarden trying to get the lead from Dario Franchitti on the first lap. And he got forced into the outside wall there by Dario. Trying to get out of Alex and Jeremy's way there. Not sure if they were looking at me or the line. I think they're looking at the line. Anyway. Trying to get out of y'all's way. Alright, so here we have turn number one. I'm gonna go right down to the cut right down to the apex here to get right to it. So this is the apex curve here for turn number one. There's the runoff right there. That's your view as you're coming from the main straight.
But nothing else.
And then you see the tire barrier right there. Here's the curb right here. A few raised sections right here, as you can see. All right, so we're gonna keep the camera rolling now because we're actually on our way down to the fountain area. The fountain area was a part of the track that I was put in, I think, in the year 2000, if I remember right. Someone will correct me on that. I'm sure of that. We're walking down here. See, the track a long time ago, back in the 90s, used to go to the right and then to the left, then to the right and then another right, and then have a bit of a snake bend to go to the backstretch. But this section was put in. I guess there was construction that was going on, and they had to change the layout up a little bit. But here we're coming to the fountain, which is probably one of the more picturesque scenes of Long Beach, of the track anyway. And it's really unique among street circuits too, which I like that a lot. Bubba Burger with their activation right here, ahead of the sports car race on Saturday. Of course, Acura, as always, with their promotion of the now renamed Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. By the way, it's hashtag AGPLB for this year. All right, so we're coming up here on the fountain. The driver's going to take a left right here to go around it. All right. So we're going to be coming up here to follow the track as it snakes around here. Indy Lights actually used to race here as well for a few years. There's Alex and Jeremy again. Yep, Alex won this race last year. Really dominated the race here. There's the fountain right there. The wonderful flowers. And the camera person right there. Yeah, statue. All the nice little decor around here. It's really nice around Long Beach. I'm just doing the track walk here. I've never actually videoed a track walk before, so figured I'd try something new. Figure I'll put this up on YouTube later.
What do you think?
Oh, I was here last year, and I tell you what, this was great to see last year. I'm looking forward to, what kind of crazy stuff can go down this year.
It's one of those races.
Yeah, I love it. Last year was my first time here, and looking forward to seeing what can happen. Yep. So we're coming up here to the next corner, which is where I believe Joseph Newgarden and Ryan Hunter-Reay tangled. I think I want to say it was 2014 maybe, or 2013, one of those years. And it happened like right around here. It was like a 3 or 4 car pile up right around here. That was a fun little conversation we just had. Yeah, this will go up on YouTube because you're all going to be watching it. So, lovely. So, we have a nice little building right around here. Yeah, this is Long Beach, y'all. King Taco over there. They actually are sponsoring Harding Steinbrenner Racing this weekend with Colton Herta's team. Colton Herta, I believe the old legend goes, is whenever he won a race, his father would always stop and get victory tacos. So they've kept that up. Colton Herta, of course, winning the IndyCar Classic at Circuit of the Americas in Austin. Here's the apex curves right over here, with the white raised sections right up here as well. All right, so we're going to keep going here. All right. So we're going to still go up here. We're going to take a right, and then we're going to pause for a little bit. We're going to walk right up here near the wall. King Taco, and just passing up the Bubba Burger signage again. One thing you're noticing is that the road is a little bit sloped here to the right, so there's a bit more of a challenge than what most people would think on a track like this. Just banked it a little bitty bit. Yeah, 2 of the 4 drivers are there. Ryan Briscoe is one of them. Recognize him from his days in IndyCar. Anyway, so coming up here, we're going to take a right. Then I will shut the camera off for a little bit so I can pause it here. All right. So we have some people from Mazda Team Yost here on this track walk, and it looks like the curbing is a bit more pronounced around here. This is certainly interesting here at Long Beach. And one thing that we noticed is this little tire barrier right here. I'm pretty confident this is the same corner that Max Chilton used as a shortcut a few years ago, which really had some fun social media conversations. What's up? All right, so we're going to shut the camera off now because we got a bit of a straight ahead of us. This is actually Shoreline Drive, the back side of it. The front side is way up there and turns towards the first corner. We're actually heading back up towards the main straight as we speak. So I'm going to turn this off right now. We're going to head back a little bit later on in the lap. All right, here we are heading to the next turn on the circuit, a left-hander. And we're actually looking directly at the runoff area at the exit of turn 1 up there. That's where those tires are. And way over that way is where turn 1 is. But yeah, our next turn is going to be up here to the left. Here's your apex painting, I guess you could say. Right here. Alright. We're heading up the side right here. Back up the track. So this is curving. It's a little uphill actually, which is a little surprising because some people would think that some street circuits are quite a bit flatter than this, but it is what it is. All right, we've been told to move over to the right-hand side of the track, which is what we were doing. All right, so we're moving over here to the right per their instructions. Scott Dixon, Felix Rosenquist here with talking Chip Ganassi. We have Nate from IMSA. Hey, Nate. Good. All right, so we have the Chip Ganassi Racing teammates up there on the golf cart right there, on the Taylor Dunn or whatever they call it. So we're heading down here. Then we got a right-hander coming up. That right-hander will lead to the backstretch. We're going to turn the camera off on the backstretch here, but I believe it used to be in the old days, back when Formula One ran here, they would actually go uphill right there to the back side of the circuit, and then it would come back downhill again before the end of the lap. Got some construction equipment here. Yep, that's construction equipment, y'all. All right, I know this is going to be shaky as all hell on YouTube, but I mean, I am walking with this. I'm not using a gimbal or anything else like that. This is just straight up me walking here. But yeah, this is Long Beach. This is history, y'all. This is, I think, the longest running race on the IndyCar calendar, except for the Indy 500 on the current IndyCar calendar. Because Toronto has been running since 1986, but they did skip 2008 because they couldn't find a spot in the IndyCar schedule. Although Mid-Ohio has had races since, like, I think the early 1980s, but they did have a couple of years off, I think, during the split. But yeah, Long Beach. This is definitely a crown jewel event. Probably the most prestigious street race on the IndyCar calendar. And with Honda sponsoring the last IndyCar race in Birmingham just now, having a performance brand here, they definitely would want a Honda-powered car to win this one too. All right, so we're going to come upon this right-hander. We're going to go through the right-hander. We walk a little bit further down and then turn the camera off for a little bit so we get to the next corner. But we're coming up here on the Chip Ganassi team. There's Scott. Next to him is Felix. Just looking over here. Hey, we're gonna head on, keep going here. All right, so we got the right-hander right here. Here's the painted apex with some curbing right there, and we're gonna keep moving right here through to the backstretch. So, one thing about the backstretch that's worth noting is that they have these bridges going across the track Yeah, anyone that's watched the IndyCar series run here, or kart as it was known back then in the early 90s, will know that sometimes onboard camera footage would cut out because of the interference from the overhead structures. But anyway, the long backstretch, and then we have a right-hander at the end of the backstretch that we're going to bring the camera back on for later on the lap. So I'm going to turn the camera off for now. All right, so we're coming up upon one of the last section of the course here. There's a right-hander, then there's a small straight, then there's a lengthy left-hander before the final hairpin. This portion of the course has remained largely unchanged as long as IndyCar is raced out here in Long Beach. Since the first time that the IndyCars ran here in 1984. At least to my knowledge, it hasn't changed. Anyway, so we're coming up on the braking markers here. 4, 3, 2, 1. And over here to my left, we have the a couple of the Mazda Team Yost drivers, as well as some of the team personnel as well. Anyway, so right up here is where Danny Sullivan and Allison Jr. had their tangle back in 1992, which would have stopped Allison Jr. from claiming 5 wins in a row here at Long Beach. Which that also gave the Galmer chassis its first ever win in an IndyCar competition. It also won the Indy 500 that year in 1992 with Allison Jr. I believe Sullivan and Allison Jr. won only 2 races combined that year in 92 with the Galmer. Looks like that's Jeff Braun and Colin Braun up there. That's on that little cart right there. Colin being the lead engineer for Core Autosport's Nissan DPI effort. Great person to talk to. Colin, lead driver for that car, great person to talk to as well. Anyway, so yeah, you got the rubbering on the track here. There has been drifting out here the last few nights or weeks or whatever. So the track has a little bit more rubber on it down here on the groove than what some people might expect. Some people may not have known that there was drifting taking place here. There was a couple of things taking place here anyway. So we got the apex curbs right here for this turn. We might get taken off of the track here. I don't know. I know last year they wouldn't let me go through the hairpin, so we'll find out soon enough. Yeah, the track has a really good amount of rubber on it from this area, so the car's going to have a little bit more grip provided that the rain holds out. That's another fun fact too, is that it has never rained on race day in Long Beach. Alright, we might be forced to go into the paddock here on the right hand side. We'll find out soon enough here. I think I'll just try it. And really, those 2 guys over there did it, so let's see what we can do. I know the car's going to have to turn, but anyway. Let's just see here what we can do. Alright, so here's the second to last corner right here. With the entrance curbs right over here. Or apex curbs, rather. And they got some rubber markings on them. Alright. Let's just keep walking. Yep, so we're coming up upon the last corner of the track right over here. So, over here to the right is an alternate pit entrance that some cars have used in the past here at Long Beach. Well, if they can't get around the final corner, they're going to just head up here. But yeah, that corner right there is quite a monster. Anyway, so coming up through here, And as you can see, just based on the rubber right there, yeah, they've done a lot of drifting around here recently. So, yeah, we're going to walk through the hairpin, go back to where we started, really, when we started this little track walk here. All right, so coming up here on the side. Look over here, there's the quote-unquote auxiliary pit entrance. But here is the final hairpin right here. There's Max Chilton in the white shirt. Charlie Kimball with the black hat right there with the jacket on. Here's the hairpin. There's your Apex paint right there. All right. Coming around right here. And as you can see, that's the outside of the corner. And looks like the Corvette guys are shooting something right here. Yeah, the Corvette. Looks like that's Tommy Kendall right there. Yeah. So we're going to head on up here. Alt, start, finish. This is where the timing line is for the IndyCar series. For during the road and street course qualifying, they use an alternate timing line right before pit in so that they can have the teams bring the drivers in without having to worry about using an extra lap of fuel. See, it says Alt S/F right there. Yep. Okay, y'all. This is a lap of the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach Circuit. I'm going to walk in at pit in right here, but that start, little pylons over there that are outlined in orange, that's where we started this lap. And that is the Long Beach Grand Prix Street Circuit track walk for 2019. I'm Christopher DeHardy. You can find my work at motorsportstribune.com or motorsporttribune.com. I think it's motorsports. Yes, motorsportstribune.com. You can also find me at indycar.com as well. I apologize if I sound a little bit punchy in this video, but I have had a little bit less sleep than the average person over the last few days. At motorsportstribune.com, yeah. This is the starting pylon for the IMSA pit lane. And we're going to turn the camera off right now, but that's the start of pit lane there for the IndyCar series. So let's have some fun here this weekend, y'all. Goodbye for now.